Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take complex topics, unpack them, and give you those key nuggets of knowledge. Basically a shortcut to being truly well-informed. Today we're plunging into something that, well, it touches nearly everyone eventually. The modern real estate market. Often, it feels like a complex maze, doesn't it? You've got these intricate legal steps you never even knew existed, listings that seem to just, poof, vanish online. And then there's the really big stuff, the emotional decisions when selling a home you've cherished. Our mission today, to cut through that complexity, transform those challenges into a clear path for anyone navigating a sale. Because we believe, yeah, today's market is a maze, but you absolutely don't have to navigate it alone. We want to be your expert guide.
That's right. We've gathered insights from, well, a whole stack of sources that really shine a light on specific, often overlooked parts of selling property. We'll be your guide today. We're talking everything from handling estate sales when a loved one passes, making sure your home actually gets seen online, to those big emotional and financial questions when selling in retirement, and even how, believe it or not, strategic concessions can actually work for you.
Okay, sounds good. Let's unpack all of this and try to make some real sense of the real estate landscape. So let's start with this scenario. Maybe you've inherited a home where you're named as the executor in a will. Your first thought might be, great, I can just, stick a sign in the yard and sell this thing, right? But here's where it gets really interesting, because the answer, it often catches people completely off guard.
Precisely. Even if a will clearly names you, or maybe you're the surviving spouse, that authority to actually sell the home after someone passes, it doesn't automatically kick in. In most situations, you actually need formal court authority, and that comes through a process called probate.
Probate.
Right. So the executor is sometimes called a personal representative. That's the person legally appointed to manage the estate. They might be named in the will, or if there isn't one, the court appoints someone. But here's the really crucial part. Until the court officially appoints you and gives you this document called letters testamentary.
Letters testamentary.
Or if there's no will, it's letters of administration. Until you have that piece of paper, you generally don't have the legal power to act. So listing the property, accepting offers, signing closing documents, none of that is usually allowed. Your inherited home could just sit there in legal limbo, unlisted, unsellable, no matter what the will actually says.
Wow, okay. That sounds like a pretty significant hurdle right off the bat.
Yeah.
So once you finally get that crucial document, does that mean you can just, do whatever you want, or are there still big responsibilities?
Oh, far from it. Once you're appointed, the executor has a really serious responsibility. You have to act in the best interest of the entire estate, and that means all its heirs. This means making sure you sell for fair market value, keeping meticulous records.
Ridiculous, I bet.
Absolutely. And avoiding any conflicts of interest, no self-dealing. Homes might need to be sold to pay off estate debts, or maybe divide the money among the heirs, or just follow specific instructions in the will itself. And the level of court involvement can vary too. Sometimes it's more flexible, what they call independent probate. Other times it's supervised, needing court approval for almost every step.
And that depends on...
It depends heavily on state law and also what the will specifies, if there is one. Now, a quick point on disclosures. The rules vary a lot state by state, but often estate sales get an exemption from the standard seller disclosure forms. However, and this is important, transparency is still absolutely key. An executor can still be held responsible if they knowingly hide defects or give false information.
So honesty is still the best policy.
Always. Answer questions honestly, document everything. And you should also anticipate that probate sales generally move slower. There are court timelines, extra paperwork for title and escrow, coordinating with multiple heirs. It just takes longer. But the good news is, working with a knowledgeable probate attorney and a real estate agent who really understands estate sales, that can smooth out those bumps significantly.
Okay, so the bottom line here for you, our listener, seems to be good intentions just aren't enough. You need that legal authority through probate. It protects everyone involved and ensures a fair process. All right, so we've navigated the legal side of things, like probate. Let's shift gears to another challenge that can really trip up a sale. Making sure your home actually gets seen in today's digital world. Put a sign in the yard, it's on the MLS, maybe Zillow. Seems like you should be good, right?
Yeah.
But what a lot of people don't realize is that the online real estate world is, well, way more complex than it looks.
You're absolutely right. It's practically a battleground out there. You've
Yeah.
got these major platforms, Zillow, Homes.com, Redfin, all competing fiercely. They're fighting for data, for advertising dollars. And this competition, it creates serious gaps in visibility, gaps that most sellers, and honestly even many buyers, don't even realize exist. It leads to what we sometimes call hidden listings.
Hidden listings. How does that happen?
Oh, that old assumption, that if you list your home, it just shows up everywhere online. That's gone. It's a really fractured marketplace now. If your agent doesn't follow very specific timing rules or maybe platform policies exactly right, your home might get mislabeled or buried deep in search results, or even in some cases, completely banned from appearing on certain major websites.
And, right?
Yeah. For instance, some platforms have rules about how long a listing can be active before it gets flagged, or they might quietly mix in no agent listings, which can just add confusion. What it means is your perfectly priced, beautifully prepared home could simply be invisible to a huge chunk of potential buyers searching online.
Okay, but why should sellers really care about this digital fragmentation? I mean, if my home is great, won't someone find it eventually?
You'd think so, but imagine this. You price it right, you stage it beautifully, you list it carefully, but the buyers who would love it, they never even see it because the specific website or app they're using has somehow blocked it or hidden it or maybe mislabeled it as off-market. It's like throwing a huge party and forgetting to send out half the invitations. You lose critical market exposure. And in today's market, especially a fast-moving one, lost time almost always means lost money. And here's a surprising truth. These big companies, they're fighting over your listing data, yes, but they're not necessarily fighting for you. Their main goal is gathering data, gaining leverage, selling ads. It's not automatically aligned with getting your sale done successfully.
Okay, that's a really important distinction.
It is, and that's why now, maybe more than ever, sellers need a guide, someone who gets the local market, sure, but also understands the whole landscape of platform politics. They need someone who knows the timing rules, the visibility quirks, the strategy behind where and when your home needs to appear online for maximum impact. A good professional can help you cut through all that noise, avoid those costly mistakes that kill your exposure, navigate the often conflicting rules from different platforms and the MLS, and really maximize visibility based on how actual buyers are searching right here in your specific market. They help you stay in control of your timeline, your privacy, and your overall selling strategy.
That really raises a critical question, doesn't it? In a world where one wrong click, one digital misstep can basically hide your home from thousands of potential buyers who is looking out for your listing, it's clearly not just about pricing and staging anymore. It's about smart, strategic digital placement. Okay, so beyond the legal stuff like probate and the digital minefield of online listings, there's the really personal side, the emotional side of real estate.
Yeah.
And this comes up a lot, especially when someone's thinking about selling their home in retirement. That house, it often holds decades of memories.
Absolutely. Selling your retirement home is often, a deeply emotional decision. It's rarely just about the finances. We hear common fears all the time. And the key really is to address them directly, step by step. Let's maybe tackle a few of those.
Yeah, let's do that. What's a common one?
Okay. Fear number one, what if selling my home ruins my finances? People worry about that. But the reality is, if you do it strategically, selling can actually strengthen your retirement budget significantly. Think about it. You can maximize your home equity. And did you know many married couples can exclude up to $500,000, $500,000 in capital gains taxes?
Wow, $500,000.
Yes, if you've lived in the home as your primary residence for 2 out of the last 5 years, that's huge. Plus, downsizing can drastically cut ongoing costs. Things like mortgage payments, those rising property taxes, unpredictable maintenance, that all adds up. And importantly, we can connect you with trusted financial advisors. They can help figure out the best way to reinvest your proceeds wisely for the future.
Okay, that makes sense. What's another fear you hear?
Fear number 2 is often, I just can't afford to sell. What about all the moving costs, the taxes? Our solution there is total transparency and tailored strategies. We start by outlining all the expected costs. Closing fees, state excise tax, which is a tax on the sale price itself, potential capital gains taxes. We lay it all out so you know exactly what to expect. No surprises. We also help with something called cost basis adjustment.
Cost basis.
Right. It means documenting all the major improvements you've made over the years, like a new roof, maybe an updated kitchen. These can actually reduce your taxable gains. And if repairs are needed before selling, we even have contractors who can do the work now and get paid later at closing. It removes a big barrier for many people.
That's helpful. What about the emotional side?
The regret,
Ah, yes. Fear number 3. What if I regret leaving my home? That's a big one. Our approach there is really about honoring the past while helping you embrace the future. We listen first. What's your ideal retirement lifestyle look like? Is it living closer to grandkids, joining a vibrant 55-plus community, maybe renting for a while so you can travel? We also connect people with downsizing support professional organizers who can help sort through decades of belongings, decide what to keep, donate, or pass on. The goal is to ensure your next space feels right, feels like home. We try to make it an emotional transition, celebrating milestones along the way as you prepare for this new chapter.
That sounds like a much more supportive process.
It needs to be. Then there's fear number 4, the market. It's just too unpredictable right now. And our answer is, you're not navigating this alone. Our expertise provides deep local market insights. We know which neighborhoods are hot, how to position your specific home to get top dollar, even in a shifting market. We also offer flexible options. If you're unsure about where you want to move next, we can help you sell first, maybe rent temporarily. That gives you breathing room to explore without pressure.
Okay. And the last big fear.
Number 5, what if I just can't find the right buyer? People worry their unique home won't appeal to anyone. Our promise is simple. We market your home with care. We focus on highlighting what makes it special, its charm, its history to attract buyers who will truly value that. We use all the modern tools, of course, professional photos, virtual tours, targeted online ads to reach the right audience. And crucially, we prioritize your safety and privacy throughout the entire showing process.
It sounds like addressing these fears head on is really key.
It makes all the difference. I worked with this couple. They were really torn. She wanted to move closer to the grandkids, but he just couldn't imagine leaving the garden he'd poured his heart into for 30 years.
Oh, I can see the conflict there.
Totally. So we just paused things, let them browse new listings online, think about it, while still comfortable in their home. The light bulb moment came when they realized all the time spent on yard work was actually preventing them from spending quality time with their grandkids. The husband finally said, "You know what? I love my garden, but I love my grandkids more." They ended up finding a smaller place near family with a lovely low-maintenance patio, just enough space for a few of his most treasured plants. Sometimes just stepping back gives you that clarity.
That's a great story.
Then there was Linda. She'd spent decades caring for her elderly mother in the same family home in Tacoma. After her mom passed, the house just felt empty. She told me, "This place is too quiet now. I've spent years putting everyone else first. It's finally time to live for me." So we helped her honor that past, celebrating the home's history, but also seeing it as a stepping stone to her future. We simplified the whole process, decluttering room by room, carefully saving heirlooms, donating things, staging it beautifully. Selling that house unlocked the funds she needed to move near her kids down in Arizona and budget for her lifelong dream: solo travel.
Wow.
Yeah. She asked me, "Okay, where should I go first?" And I actually suggested Italy in April. I said, "Linda, you spent years caring for others. Now let Italy care for you with pasta and wine and sunlit piazzas." She just lit up, said, "Maybe I'll finally take that cooking class in Florence."
That's fantastic. It really raises the question, doesn't it? How can you, the listener, turn those fears into confidence? How can you turn your home's equity into real freedom for whatever your next chapter holds?
Right.
Okay, so we've hit the legal hurdles, the digital visibility maze, the deep emotional journey. Now let's dive into something that many sellers might instinctively see as a negative, a weakness. But actually, it can be an incredibly powerful strategic tool: seller concessions.
That's absolutely right. Most sellers kind of cringe when they hear the word concession. They think it means just giving money away. But the real breakthrough insight here is that concessions are actually like a finely tuned instrument. They're a genuine seller's toolkit. By offering the right concession strategically, you can often secure a higher net profit than if you just cut the price.
Higher net profit. How does that work?
Because you're directly addressing a specific buyer concern or pain point, maybe their closing costs, maybe a needed repair, without just devaluing your home's overall asking price on paper. Concessions can really shape negotiations, attract certain types of buyers, speed up your sale, and yes, even maximize your net proceeds, especially when the market gets a bit more challenging.
Okay, I think many listeners, myself included, would probably think of concessions as, a sign of desperation. How do you make it strategic instead of just giving stuff away?
That's the key difference. It's not about randomly giving things away. Not all concessions are created equal, and their perceived value varies massively depending on the buyer. The real skill lies in picking the right tool from the toolkit for each specific transaction. And this is where having a knowledgeable, experienced real estate agent is absolutely essential. A top agent analyzes your target buyer. Are they first-timers, maybe a bit short on cash for closing? Are they downsizers worried about potential repairs? They assess the current local market trends, what kinds of concessions are actually valued right now. They know how to structure the offer effectively to meet your goals as the seller, whether that's getting more initial interest or ensuring a fast, smooth closing. And critically, they understand and navigate the regulatory limits. There are legal limits, lender-specific limits on how much a seller can contribute. The deal has to be structured correctly to stay compliant.
Compliance. Right.
Absolutely. I've actually seen deals where, say, the buyer's agent asked for more in closing cost credits than the buyer's loan type actually allowed them to use. Because we knew the rules, we structured it so the unused portion, literally thousands of dollars, was returned directly to my seller at closing. They saved money because we understood the nuances.
That's a great example of expertise paying off. So what are some common types of these strategic concessions?
Well, closing cost credits are very common, especially for buyers trying to lower their upfront cash needed. Offering to handle specific repairs or providing an allowance for upgrades can remove big barriers and reassure buyers. A home warranty offering 1 year of coverage for major systems and appliances gives buyers huge peace of mind, especially in older homes, and it's relatively low cost for the seller. Rate buydowns are becoming more popular again. The seller pays points up front to lower the buyer's interest rate for the first year or two, making monthly payments more affordable. And sometimes it's about flexible terms, maybe offering a slightly later closing date or allowing early occupancy if it suits the buyer's timeline without actually reducing the sale price. The key takeaway is that the ideal concession provides the maximum perceived value to that specific buyer while minimizing the actual cost or inconvenience to you, the seller. It's about finding that sweet spot.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So the bottom line is, concessions aren't a weakness. They're a strategic tool. When used thoughtfully, guided by an expert, they can help you close faster, potentially net more money, and still meet the buyer's needs. Really interesting. Wow, okay, what a deep dive we've had today. We've really unpacked a lot, from those surprising legal hoops in probate sales to the hidden complexities of just getting your listing seen online, the deeply personal journey of selling a retirement home, and even how strategic concessions can completely change a negotiation dynamic.
Yeah, and if we kind of zoom out, connect this all to the bigger picture, what really stands out is that today's real estate market truly is a complex maze. There's no doubt about it. But the crucial thing to remember is you absolutely do not have to navigate it alone. Understanding these specific challenges we've talked about and having an expert guide, someone who knows the terrain, by your side, that can transform what feels overwhelming into a clear, manageable path toward a seamless, successful sale.
So for you, our listener, maybe here's a final thought to mull over as we wrap up. How much hidden value, or maybe how many hidden obstacles might exist in your own real estate journey, whether you're thinking of buying or selling, that you haven't even considered yet? Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. We really hope this has given you some clarity, maybe some confidence for any real estate challenges you might be facing. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a topic you need to know about.